Hi there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Josh Mansfield, a teacher with the Demon, and with me, Nathan Fox, the co-founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. Nathan, today we've got an email from Energy Sector Erik. We got a pseudonym here. Subject, lower GPA and T14.
Erik says, hello, I'm starting my LSAT journey this year with the goal of entering law school in 2 years. My target LSAT score is a 170 or higher. However, my undergraduate GPA is a 3.3 out of 4.0. Okay, that's a significant anchor on your T14 chances. That's going to be below the 25th percentile at every school in the T14, way, way below the medians of the school. The median GPA in the T14 is like 3.9. So you're way below their median and even way below their 25th percentile. They just don't admit very many people who have grades that low. That said, they do admit 25% of their class at or below their 25th percentile GPA. And once you're below the 25th percentile, I don't think it really matters how far below you are beneath, depending on how good the rest of your application is, especially your LSAT score. Anyway.
That LSAT score of 170 or higher, that goal needs to be changed to a 175.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
170.
3.3, 170 is not going to be anywhere close to good enough.
No, 3.3, 170 is not getting you into the T14. Or, once in a while it will, but not with any reliability.
To the point you've made before, maybe if you put your Olympic gold medal story in your application, a 3.3 170 can get you in.
Yep, sure, yeah. So Erik continues, I'm currently working full-time in the energy sector after completing multiple internships in consulting and private equity. I'm an international candidate working outside the US, but I completed my undergraduate and master's degree in the US. Even if I score above 170 on the LSAT, do you think I should avoid applying to T14 schools, especially Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia, and NYU? I really want to attend a T14 school, but my friends told me that I might not even get into a top 50 school. Because of my GPA. I'm sorry I laugh, but we just on Thinking LSAT did a lengthy review of Baylor Law School in Waco, Texas, which Baylor is a top 50 law school. Let me tell you something about top 50 law schools. They are very mediocre, and you can definitely get into a school like Baylor. If you show up with a 170 and a 3.3 at Baylor, that's might be the highest LSAT that even applied to Baylor that year. Sure, your GPA might be lower than their median still, but people throw around T14 and T50 as if they're equivalent at all, and they're really not. T14, and especially the top of the top 14, those are masters of the universe type of shit. And schools that are ranked, 30th through 50th, that's just another mediocre law school. It's a regional school. You should go there if you want to be a normal, everyday, mundane lawyer. You should not be going there if you want to make big money, practice big law, get a big prestigious, I want to work in the Supreme Court someday. Well, not from that school. But from the top 14, yeah. So there's a big, big difference. What do you think? Seems a little bit premature for Erik to be asking whether he should apply to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia, NYU.
Yes. And it's clear to me, even if I score above a 170, it's clear Erik is not, it's not, my practice tests are all in the 170. The goals, as we talked about, need to change. If you want to be in a school like that, I don't know if a 170, above a 175, I think Harvard, Yale, Stanford at this level is, with the GPA, is probably not super feasible. But Columbia, NYU, maybe. Here's what I would recommend, though. I really want to attend a T14 law school. Okay, to your point, Nathan, why? What is it about the T14? Is it the number? Is it because you hear it and see it on Reddit that you're therefore T14 is what I should go to? Because if that's the case, what I would say is go look at employment statistics from these schools and decide what you want to do, and then go look for schools that might line up even if they're outside the T14, and then probably sprinkle in a couple T14 schools to your applications. I pulled, for example, Georgia, which is ranked in is like 20th. I went and pulled their employment reports. 47 of their students landed at a law firm with 250 or more attorneys out of 150. 30% are at a firm with more than 250 attorneys. That's not bad. If you're a good student at Georgia, you could end up at a big firm if you wanted to.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as a school that's ranked 48th in the country.
Yes.
Right. There is a big difference there. You will see a significant drop off in big law and federal clerkship hiring numbers when you get deeper into the top 50. The only people who ever brag about being in the top 50, by the way, are the people who are ranked in the 40s. If you were 30 whatever, you'd be in the top 40. And if you were 20 whatever, you'd be in the top 30. And it's all just a big scam anyway. Apply broadly with your very best LSAT. There's no reason not to apply to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia, NYU. Even if you're a long shot to get in, maybe they see something in your private equity or consulting background that they really like. Oh, energy sector. Yeah, maybe your undergrad was in a technical discipline, which means they're going to be a little willing to give you a little bit more leeway. I just looked up NYU. I mean, their 50th percentile LSAT 172.
Okay.
Their 50th percentile GPA is a 3.91. So you're a real long shot, Erik, based on your grades. But can you get above a 172? I mean, yeah, 170 is not getting it done. 172 is also probably not getting it done. But their 75th percentile LSAT's only a 173. So if you get the 175 that Josh is talking about, now you apply as a splitter. Like a real splitter. You're above their 75th percentile on LSAT, and you're below their 25th percentile on GPA. So even though your documented academic record isn't as strong as the vast majority of the people you're going to be going to school with, the vast majority of people you're going to be going to school with don't have an LSAT that can touch yours. So, and schools tend to understand that LSAT can say a lot about the horsepower of an applicant. And some schools emphasize LSAT more, some schools emphasize GPA more, and different schools do different strategies in different application cycles. All that is to say, do not be super precious about deciding your list of schools. Instead, just apply broadly. Yeah, it'll take some time. Yeah, it'll take some effort. Yeah, you'll get denied at a lot of schools. Who cares? All you need is one school to make you a good offer. So depending on what you want to do, apply to schools that are going to open the kinds of doors that you want opened, and then just apply to lots of them to see how many of them might be willing to answer the call.
Think a lot about how much you're going to pay before you go to law school, especially if, those big firms aren't, even if they are your goal, you might slip in at the bottom of the T14 in some of these classes. And they might be happy to charge you, if you get that 175, they might be happy to charge you $75,000 a year. Is that align with your goals and interests?
Yeah. Are you actually going to make more money out of law school? Not to be completely mercenary about it, but you already work in private equity and consulting. Like, you're probably used to making big money. That's probably your idea here. That's why you're interested in the top 14. Okay. So what school are you going to go to? How much are they going to charge you to go there? Is that a good investment or not? Because it's going to, you're going to have 3 years worth of lost work experience, and you're going to graduate. Even if you get a full tuition scholarship, you're still going to be accruing living expenses, fees, books, transportation, cell phone, like all kinds of things that add up. And even on a full tuition scholarship, you might graduate with 6 figures of debt. So is it worth 3 years and potentially 6 figures of debt, even with a full tuition scholarship? Is it worth that? Are you going to get a big enough bump in your pay as whatever kind of lawyer you want to be or not? And if you end up walking away from it and just going back into consulting and private equity, I definitely can't blame you. Law is just not as lucrative as most people think it is. So be very careful about how much you pay.
Thanks for writing in, Erik. Appreciate it.
Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you would like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.